You know, when I look back at issue 155 and 156, the two-part line of succession story, I have to say that for one of the final stories that Ken Penders wrote, I will say that he did go out with a bang. He did go out pretty much correcting some of the mistakes that he and Carl Bowlers made, but during their run. Because, here's the thing. A lot of us didn't like the idea that Antoine had broken up with Bunny. I mean, let's be honest with ourselves. We didn't like it. Heck, I even, of course, did the video where I talked about here on camera how they could have simplified it and everything by basically making Bunny be very suspicious as to why Antoine suddenly had a change and everything, and then slowly put the pieces of the clues to the puzzle, if you will, together to finally, put two and two together herself, and then let Sonic know what was going on. And then Sonic could probably try to convince her, or try to have Sonic basically convince the others that, hey, this guy is not who you think he is. Like I said, you could still do some of the moments you wanted in Line of Succession, but with now knowledge for both Bunny, to pass on to Sonic, it would have made things, a lot, maybe not as interesting, but more, satisfying in the end when, when Sonic would reveal the truth that he and Bunny already knew. But yeah, I mean, for me, Line of Succession was, and I think I did the review on this long ago, was decent. It was a decent, like I said, final outing for Ken, because he corrected a lot of the mistakes that were made. Most importantly, the mistake of, Antoine and Bunny being broken up, because, I'm sure he's like, well, what was the reasoning? And he probably talked to Carl, and Carl's like, well, maybe more for at least for drama and everything. And I'm sure Ken was thinking, well, is it only temporary? And I don't think Carl had an answer for him. So Ken, obviously knowing that he wasn't going to be on the book for much longer, decided, okay, I'll come up with a solution, and he did. And for one, like I said, for one of his final stories, he came up with a very good solution. That the obvious reasoning for, Antoine's behavior is he's a fake. So, I thought, again, it was a good outing for Ken in the long run. Did he have to go the wedding angle, if you will, and everything? No, not really. But, again, when you are, the main writer of a book, and one of the things you've been doing since basically the 20 issues, if you will, the late teen to 20 issues, and some of the various 48-page specials in between, like the one I just talked about, where you're trying to basically transition the book into more of a Sad like tone, as well as you're trying to grow the book up along with its audience, then yeah, going the direction of, okay, let's, have this wedding situation and all that happen, was the obvious choice to go with, because at that time, a lot of people growing up with the book, men, boys and girls, men and women, were into that kind of drama at that time. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it in my opinion. But, honestly, did he have to really do it? Not really. You could have, come close to doing it. You could have had, here's what I would have done. I would have had basically Sonic come in and say he objects, then Bunny comes in, backs him up on it, and then explains why they object. And even though it looks like they're about to, be sent to the dungeon and everything to, at least temporarily, to keep them out of, keep them out of sight, keep them in line, keep them out of sight or something like that, you can have Elias come in at the last moment, say, I object, because we don't need to have a wedding if I'm back to reclaim what is rightfully mine, basically by birthright. And then you could have had the situation where, Patch, evil Antoine, tries to poison him. Bunny points it out to Sonic. Sonic sees it, tackles him, fights him, and then explains basically in a similar, with a few changes to his lines, explains exactly, the truth, finally reveals and explains the truth. That's how I probably would have done it, to make it less, less drawn out, if you catch my drift. But, besides that, obvious change that I would make, like I said, I think Ken did a good job going out the way, he did. Now, like I said, was it necessary that we had to do that? No. Was it necessary that we'd have to keep the drama going on with Sonic and Sally? No. Was it necessary that Sonic and Fiona had to still be an item? Not really. But it was all part of the storyline that eventually Ian Flynn would take over, and, well, Ian would try, give him credit, his best to simplify. Even if some of the decisions he made was stupid and controversial. We'll put it that way. But overall, Line of Succession to me as a story I thought was alright. Again, there could have been a few things they could have changed even prior to that, like I mentioned in a previous video. But, what can you do? But what did you guys think of issues 155 and 156, the Line of Succession storyline? What did you think of it overall? And how it was handled? Do you think, they could have changed things up a little bit? Do you think maybe with Bunny being suspicious and being the first one to put all the pieces of the puzzle together as evidence of, hey, this ain't the real deal, I gotta let Sonic know and stuff like that, do you think that would have helped make it a little bit more interesting and less drawn out? What are your thoughts? Comment down below, live chat during the premiere, like the video, check out my BW Roses Discussion podcast at all your favorite podcast locations like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, iHeartRadio, many of them except for Pandora, still working on that one. As well as check me out at BW Roses on Vimeo. Yes, I have a BW Roses Vimeo channel where I will basically put a lot of the videos that, due to copyright reasons, I can't put here on YouTube if nobody can see them. So I'll put them on Vimeo so you can check them out there. And also check out my Teespring store for some merchandise and everything. I think you'll enjoy that as well. And overall, that's all I'm going to say, guys. So till next time, God bless, take care, and I'm out.